organizations. Now, if you unraveled that would go from the station to Verona.
What a great
Probably more than
idea.
that. 6.5 miles?
That'd be cool to see.
All that work.
Yeah, it's beautiful, too.
It really is. All right, that is our time for now. We thank you for watching. We'll see you back here again tomorrow. News 3 Now at 5 begins right now.
And right now at 5, 2 people are in custody and police are searching for others after a high-speed chase in Monona.
Officers across the state are mourning after 2 off-duty have the very latest.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 5.
And thanks for staying with News 3 Now. 2 people are in custody and a handful of other suspects are still on the run after a set of chases overnight, starting at the Monona Walmart, ending in a Fitchburg neighborhood.
Police arrested 20-year-old Anna Brindley on a charge of knowingly fleeing an officer and 19-year-old Martinique Walker on a charge of resisting an officer. Our Rose Schmidt joins us live from Greencrest Court in Fitchburg, where the chase ended at 3 o'clock this morning. Rose?
Yes, neighbors tell me they were jolted out of bed before 3 a.m. to the sounds and sights of about a dozen police squad cars filling this cul-de-sac here. But this all started at 1:46 a.m. when Monona police were called to the Monona Walmart for a report of 2 stolen vehicles. Police say a black SUV drove straight at a group of police officers, almost hitting one of them. So officers and deputies started chasing the SUV. It stopped after it hit a spike strip, but the suspects jumped into a getaway car. That car began a high-speed chase through Madison, with authorities from multiple departments eventually stopping in the Fitchburg neighborhood, where Dan Johnson watched a hectic scene unfold from his window.
We thought that it might be a fire, but as I made my way downstairs, I heard my wife say, guns drawn, which was alarming because we don't expect something like that down in this quiet cul-de-sac here.
Meanwhile, Monona officers were also looking for a different stolen car overnight near the Walmart and Speedway gas station. Police say Police saw a group of suspects and believe one of them fired 2 shots. Then they ran away. Monona police say between these 2 different incidents, at least 7 suspects total were involved. And neighbors tell me when that high-speed chase ended in this neighborhood, the suspect's car was actually parked inside that family's driveway, and they had to hide inside of their home, inside a closet, while this was all happening. But as for why the chase ended here in this neighborhood, we still don't know. Back to you.
Rose Schmidt live in Fitchburg. Rose, thank you.
An investigation is underway after another 5-year-old boy was shot and killed in Milwaukee. Police say the boy died this afternoon on the city's west side. The child now the second to die in a shooting in Wisconsin in as many days. On Monday, a 5-year-old boy died of a gunshot wound after he was dropped off at a hospital in Kenosha. The child's grandfather said the boy was accidentally shot by a family member.
2 off-duty police officers were killed overnight in southeastern Wisconsin in separate incidents.
The losses in Racine and Milwaukee are being felt all across the state. Our Amanda Quintana joins us with more on these tragedies. Amanda?
Yeah, well, it was a tragic night for fellow officers hearing about these deaths. Racine officer John Hetland tried to intervene in an armed robbery at a bar when he was shot and killed. And on his way home from work in Milwaukee, Officer Koo Her was struck by a driver with a history of drunk driving who ran a red light.
In the case of the Milwaukee officer, you have someone who has only been on the job for a couple of years. And in John Hetland in Racine, he was within a few months from retiring.
The actions of Officer Hetland have many admiring his dedication to service, reaffirming that officers sign up to help their communities, whether they are in uniform or not. It's an instinct that kicks in. He had been an officer for 24 years. At 6 o'clock, we'll hear more about a bill being proposed in honor of Officer Her's death. It would add mandatory prison time for anyone who is convicted with homicide by intoxicated use of a vehicle. And of course, they are still looking for that shooter who shot Officer Hetland.
Well, just terrible tragedies. You always hate to hear it. Amanda Quintana reporting. Amanda, thank you.
Thanks, Amanda.
And this just in for the Channel 3000 Alert Center. A mother and daughter are reported missing. This is out of Outagamie County. Deputies say 55-year-old Jill Rousseau and 21-year-old Jordan Rousseau have not been seen, and no one has heard from them since Sunday. Jill and Jordan Rousseau are believed to have been driving a 2011 Ford Expedition, license plate number 650 PPM, If you have seen them, you're asked to call law enforcement.
4 people are displaced from their home after a fire in Watertown. The Watertown Fire Department says it took a call that smoke was entering a 2-family residence at 604 North 2nd Street around 8:10. Firefighters found smoke in the interior of the structure on the 2nd floor and put it out. No one was injured. Firefighters say the cause of the fire was electrical, and there were not any working smoke detectors in the home. Damage is estimated at $7,500.
All right, let's get a look at your first alert weather now. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti joining us from the weather patio. Gary?
It's pretty humid out here. Dew point temperatures in the lower 60s, but actual air temperatures are in the middle 70s. You can see current dew points right now in the lower 60s across southern Wisconsin. So the air is a little bit humid. Visible cloud track, you can see those clouds coming in from the west. There have been a few scattered showers associated with them. In fact, you can see on Doppler track just some very light showers north and west of Madison. Not seeing any lightning out of them, but it's possible we could see an isolated shot of lightning at some point. Temperatures right now, middle 70s here in Madison, lower 70s closer to Lake Michigan. By tomorrow morning, those temperatures will be down into the middle 60s. Look for just a slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm south of Madison near the Illinois state line. Tomorrow's high temperature a little cooler at 72. That's your News 3 Now First Alert forecast.
A Rock County man seen beating his dog on camera will face a citation from the city of Beloit, but will not lose custody of the animal. Now, we want to warn you, the following video might be difficult to watch for some viewers. Beloit police say they first found out about the incident because of security camera video sent in by a neighbor. In this video, the man is seen hitting his dog with a leash before standing on top of the dog and hitting it in the head. And coming up tonight at 6, we will hear from police as well as from the man who sent us this security footage, what they are saying tonight.
A teenager says he was attacked by several other teens while walking on Madison's north side. Officers were called to the 1300 block of Northport Drive around 9 last night. The 17-year-old victim told officers the group approached him from behind, placed him in a bear hug before taking him into a parking lot and attacking him. Police say the group of teens made off with the victim's AirPods wireless headphones. The 17-year-olds had bumps and bruises, but did not go to the hospital.
State Assembly considering a number of bills at the Capitol today, and an area of rare bipartisan agreement seems to lie in the fight against homelessness. A number of bills passed on that measure that enact the recommendations of a state panel that examined homelessness in the state. Those proposals include a hike in grant funding for homeless shelters, funding for a housing navigator to connect the homeless with affordable housing, and also provide for worker training programs for the homeless.
One of those issues that's not liberal, it's not conservative, it's just human, and it's something that I think goes a long way towards helping improve people's situations, real people here in the state of Wisconsin.
The $4 million funding increase to battle homelessness has yet to be taken up in the state Senate.
A bipartisan proposal designed to make it easier for patients to get needed prescription drugs, even when insurance companies force them to try less expensive alternatives, is headed to Governor Tony Evers. The Wisconsin Assembly approved the bill today on a voice vote. The Senate previously passed the measure. Under step therapy, an insurance company can require a patient to try a less costly treatment option before advancing to more expensive ones originally prescribed by a doctor.
Happening right now, longtime state Supreme Court Justice Shirley Abrahamson is being honored at the Capitol. The state bar, along with UW-Madison and Marquette University Law Schools, are holding a ceremony under the dome. Governor Evers and former Governor Jim Doyle are speaking. U.S. Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg is also set to deliver a video tribute. The 85-year-old Abrahamson, the longest-serving member in state Supreme Court history, was also the first female justice. She announced last May she would not seek re-election, and in August said she was battling cancer. Justice-elect Brian Hagedorn defeated Lisa Neubauer in April to capture Abrahamson's seat.
Madison is officially the first city in the country to have a full set of e-bikes available for you to use.
And Jamie Perez takes us downtown to show us how they work.
Starting today, you will see bikes like this all across Madison. We are actually the first city in the country to do something like this, and the people that started this say that they truly believe this will increase ridership.
So welcome to the B-Cycle Electric.
Morgan Raymaker says these pedal assist bikes will be a game changer for Madison. Something everyone can use to get farther, faster, as long as you're over 18. Here's how it works. We'll start with the seat.
Be about hip level. So get it right about there. and then clasp it again. This is a little strap where you can secure your phone while you're riding. You press this button on top. It powers up and it tells you your speed and your battery life.
And off you go. For those wondering, doesn't this defeat the purpose of the exercise of riding a bike? Well, it can, only if you choose to. These bikes can be used as regular bikes if you never power it on. Otherwise, it just takes the click of a button to turn it into an e-bike. Perfect for those who dress up for work and don't want to break a sweat on their lunch break.
Yeah, you gonna ride it in a full tux, full suit?
Full suit? I could do it in a full suit.
The stations you already see around Madison with the red bikes will be replaced with these ones. Full battery will last you about 30 miles.
All you have to do is just make sure that you return the bikes to a proper station somewhere around Madison. And for more information on how you can get a monthly or yearly membership, you can search that online. In Madison, I'm Jamie Perez, News 3 Now.
If you already have a membership for the existing bikes, that will simply transfer so you can use the new bikes. We have more information on the bikes at our website, channel3000.com.
Kids from across the area are getting golfing tips from the pros ahead of the AmFam Championship. Around 95 kids from the first tee of South Central Wisconsin participated at the event at University Ridge this morning. PGA Champions Tour players were alongside first tee participants as they competed to bring home a trophy. Edgerton native Steve Stricker is the host of sorts for this event and says he's thankful for the opportunity to come home and still play the game he loves at a high level.
To be able to, like I say, play still, to play competitively, to do some of the things, to be part of some of those teams, the Ryder Cups, the President's Cup, to be a captain of the President's Cup. You know, I would have never even thought that. I wasn't thinking that at that time. I was just trying to get my game back. So it's been a blessing, and it's been a great journey, the second career.
The AmFam Championship starts Friday with the first round of golfers teeing off at 8:50 in the morning. The tournament runs through Sunday.
The first 1,008 fans at the Forward Madison FC against North Texas game on Saturday will get a free plastic pink flamingo. That giveaway, thought to be the largest pink flamingo giveaway ever. National Pink Flamingo Day was established in 2007, takes place on June 23rd, one day after Forward Madison's home game. Saturday's game will celebrate the holiday with the giveaway and a citywide scavenger hunt for more flamingos. Gates open at 6 p.m. at Breese Stevens Field. 1,008, by the way, that was the number, part of the prank in 1979 on Bascom Hill. If you're wondering why,
I was just going to ask you.
1,008. There you go.
Know.
More news to come on News 3 Now at 5. Up next, the acting Secretary of Defense steps away from his job. What allegations some lawmakers say they should have known about a long time ago.
Lawmakers say they're working on a bill to address the border crisis. This comes as the president is threatening mass deportations.
And the markets close with a huge climb for the Dow today, up more than 353 points. The Nasdaq adds 109. The S&P jumps 28. We'll be right back. President Trump is again looking for a new Secretary of Defense after acting Defense Secretary Patrick Shanahan withdrew his name from consideration. Shanahan resigning his position after domestic violence accusations against his ex-wife and son from nearly a decade ago came to light. White House sources tell CBS News the administration already knew about the domestic incident involving Shanahan's son. Lawmakers say they want to know why the White House did not reveal the information at the time. President Trump named Secretary of the Army Mark Esper to be his new acting Secretary of Defense.
The president announced a plan to ramp up deportations in the U.S. Lawmakers on Capitol Hill say a bill is in the works to deal with the humanitarian crisis on the southern border as the president hints at a plan for massive deportations. President Trump tweeted, "Next week, ICE will begin the process of removing the millions of illegal aliens who have illicitly found their way into the United States. They will be removed as fast as they come in." But former Department of Homeland Security official Teresa Cardinal Brown says federal agencies don't have the resources for mass deportations.
From an operational perspective, it's further straining an already strained agency for an unclear objective.
In a letter to Congress, DHS asked for billions of dollars in additional funding for border operations. Without it, the department said it would be forced to take drastic measures starting in August. Just last month, officials say they apprehended more than 144,000 migrants at the southern border. It's estimated there are more than 10 million undocumented immigrants currently living in the U.S. President Trump launches his 2020 re-election campaign tonight with a rally in Orlando, Florida. The president plans on holding a rally at the Amway Center and a festival nearby. The Amway Center holds 20,000 people, and crowds started lining up yesterday, waiting in the heat, wind, and rain to hear the president speak about his goals for a second term.
I believe he's going to turn America around in the area of abortion, and I'm all for him.
With more than a year to go before Election Day, a Fox News poll shows President Trump losing to multiple Democratic White House hopefuls. The president narrowly won Florida in 2016 by a little more than 1% of the vote.
More American troops are on their way to the Middle East as tensions between the U.S. and Iran continue to escalate. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo held closed-door meetings with Central Command leaders in Florida this morning to discuss the deployment of about 1,000 additional troops to the Middle East. Acting Defense Secretary Patrick Shanahan said the U.S. does not seek conflict with Iran, but is working to ensure the safety and welfare of military personnel in the region.
The job of these additional forces is going to be increased surveillance, watching the Iranians, and it's going to be to defend U.S. forces and U.S. military bases.
The Pentagon also released new high-resolution photos of last week's attack on 2 oil tankers in the Gulf of Oman. The Pentagon says the photos show a crew dressed in Iranian Revolutionary Guard uniforms attempting to destroy evidence on one of the vessels. Iran denies orchestrating that attack.
Let's get a check on the weather now. Gary Canolti is here with a look at the forecast. Gary?
You know, today's weather is pretty much the same as yesterday, just a couple degrees warmer and also a little bit more humid, but so far that really hasn't translated into much in the way of rain chances. You can see some thicker clouds moving in from the west and then just kind of breaking apart a little bit as they push into far southern Wisconsin. So there's been a little more sunshine down towards Janesville and the state line, but you can see just a few showers to our north and to our west. Haven't really seen any lightning out of them here. Now there's been some lightning with thunderstorms up to the north in the UP of Michigan, farther to the southwest in western portions of Iowa. That batch of rain will stay mainly to our south for tomorrow, but you can see the rain chances right now not looking too high. The live view from the Queen Bee Radio Skycam in Platteville, hazy sunshine there. The WISC Skycam looking out toward the east, showing mostly cloudy skies, but some breaks in the overcast from time to time. Our almanac for today shows our high temperature a couple degrees warmer than yesterday, reaching 77. Low temperature at 56, so pretty close to the normals of 79 and 57. Right now we're at 77 degrees. The winds are out of the northwest at 6 miles per hour. Dew points at 62, but as those winds shift around to the north, we'll see those dew points drop into the 50s. While tonight low temperatures will be around 60, we'll drop back into the lower 50s for tomorrow night. Temperatures right now are mainly in the 70s across Wisconsin. Don't even really have much of a lake breeze today, keeping temperatures closer to Lake Michigan, cooler like they have been the last couple of days, although winds off of Lake Superior keeping temperatures only in the mid-50s up near Superior. But you can see that cold front to our north and west really doesn't have a lot of punch behind it. Upper level the winds are basically from west to east, so the air behind the cold front, not coming out of Canada, but more from the Pacific Northwest, meaning it's a little bit milder, also a little bit drier too. So you can see this area of drier weather that'll be basically coming in for much of tomorrow into Thursday. This weather system will just kind of scrape by near the Wisconsin-Illinois state line, but the main jet stream path still, as it's been most of the spring, is staying just to our south down toward the Ohio River, bringing more bouts of showers and thunderstorms. And this cold front will drop to the south and kind of reinforce the stationary front, which has really been the focus for a lot of the rain over the last couple of days. But that will also keep this area of showers and thunderstorms to our south, mainly across northern Illinois for tomorrow. Temperatures right now mainly in the 70s. Again, no really warm temperatures. It's the middle of June. Don't see any 90s on the map. Some low 80s down to the south across southern Missouri. But even in the north, temperatures are in the middle 70s. But the air is a little bit drier to our north and west. Again, dew points lower 60s here, but down to 50 in Wausau, 49 in the Twin Cities. So that's a little more refreshing air that'll give us a little bit of a break in the humidity. So as we look at future track, that little weak cold front comes through. You can see maybe a shower or thunderstorm chance close to the Illinois state line tomorrow. And then we start to see a little bit of that drier and less humid air move in for a couple of days before the next chance of showers and thunderstorms arrives. That'll probably be by Friday afternoon. Our forecast for tonight calls for skies to be mostly cloudy. We could see some patchy fog showers, perhaps an evening thunderstorm if one of those showers pop up to enough strength. Low temperature dropping to 60. Tomorrow, look for a slightly cooler day with a high of 72 degrees. See variably cloudy skies. If there is a shower or thunderstorm threat, it'll be down toward the Illinois state line. Here's future track for tonight. You can see a shower or thunderstorm chance this evening into the early overnight hours. Low temperature at 60. Tomorrow, again, the better chances for showers and storms along and south of the Illinois state line, highs lower 70s. Tomorrow night, a little drier air. That'll cool temperatures off into the lower 50s. And then we'll see partly sunny skies and a nice day for Thursday, high temperatures in the middle 70s. Rainfall amounts, maybe a tenth of an inch near the Illinois state line. North of Madison, probably little or no rain. But 7 to 10 day forecast still calls for temperatures up around 80 for the weekend. Did have to add a little more humidity for Sunday, so that'll increase the thunderstorm chances there. And then temperatures staying in the low to mid 80s for much of next week. As we take a look at first alert traffic right now, big delays on the Beltline. This is by Broadway and the Beltline. We're seeing some couple of accidents. One on the Beltline near Monona Drive, causing some travel delays, and also on the Beltline near, looks like near Park Street. So right now we're seeing about a half-hour commute in either direction between University Avenue and the interstate. If you're heading out of Madison, 27 minutes down to Janesville on I-3990, 19 minutes to Sauk City on US 12, and 22 minutes to Sun Prairie on East Washington Avenue, US 151. That's your News 3 Now First Alert Traffic.
All right, thanks, Gary.
Ahead on News 3 now at 5. First comes love, then comes marriage, then comes a lot of debt for some couples. We'll have tips on cutting your wedding day costs after a short break. Welcome back. Of course, June is a popular month for weddings.
But from the gown to the flowers, taking the plunge can take a big bite out of your future finances. Tom Hansen reports.
For Connie Kim and Sylvester Siren, getting engaged was easy.
We went to the park and we were having a picnic and he was playing guitar.
But planning for the big day can come with a big price tag.
The catering was like $8 or $10K. The florist, like $4K. They say that an average wedding in New York is $70,000, and we want to do well below that.
According to the planning website, The Knot, couples spent an average of $34,000 on their weddings last year. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger tells couples the most important thing is sticking to a budget.
We found that about 45% of people who actually created a budget blew through the budget.
And that can lead to trouble in paradise, newlyweds taking on debt, a move 74% of couples actually choose to make.
Is a wedding worth going into debt for?
Absolutely not. I mean, there is no reason you should be borrowing money to do this. Live within the confines of what you can afford.
Schlesinger recommends creating a financial checklist to eliminate some of the costly frills.
And those include things like a cost of a wedding planner, which many people say they regret hiring because it was a big expense, flowers, centerpieces, but beyond all of that, the number of people that you invite is the single biggest factor in how much your wedding's going to cost.
And she says the wedding is just one of many financial considerations. Couples should share detailed information about debt, savings, investments, and retirement holdings before the ceremony. Tom Hansen, CBS News, New York.
And stay tuned. We'll have another Check Your Forecast in just a moment.
Can't really decide what's going on outside today.
It's a little humid, but you know, we haven't had the summer heat yet. So I think we'll have to wait until next week at least to see more persistent temperatures in the 80s. Tonight, just a few showers to our north and west. Haven't seen any lightning with them yet, but it's not out of the question. There could be a flash of lightning at some point. Temperatures right now mainly in the 70s, although Wisconsin Dells has dropped to 69 as a shower moved through there. Otherwise, temperatures in the 70s through Friday. Thunderstorm chances and more humidity come in for the weekend, bringing temperatures up to around 80, and then it looks like we'll stay in the 80s for most of next week.
All right, Gary, thank you. Thank you for joining us. We're back in 30 minutes for more updates on News 3 Now at 6. Stay tuned for the CBS Evening News.